to Mary's English class. We are looking at the concept of the English phonology. What do we mean by phonology? Phonology has two Greek words, phono and logy. Phono means sounds or voice, while logy means the study of. So what is phonology now? Phonology is a branch of linguistics that studies the entire sound system of a language and across languages. What do we mean by the entire sound system? The entire sound system comprises consonants and vowels. So in phonology, we look at the patterns of these sounds known as phonemes in phonology. While we call sounds also phones in phonetics that we had already studied. So in phonology, we look at the relationships among these sounds, among these phonemes, how they relate, how they interact, and the patterns of sequence of these phonemes. That's what we study in phonology. And every speaker of the language must have tacit knowledge of this sound system, the phonotactic system. What do we mean by phonotactics? Phonotactics has two Greek words too, phono and tactiles. What do we mean by phono? In phonology, in phonotactics, phono means sounds or phones, while tactiles means the arranging of. So tactiles means, phonotactics means the arranging of phonemes in the English language. That's what every speaker of the language must have its tacit knowledge. And what in the English phonotactic system, we have a formula for this sequence, the patterns, the possible combinations, because phonotactics means there are possible combinations, the permissible combinations of phonemes, the arranging of phonemes. That's what we mean by phonotactics. So every speaker of the language must have what we know as the tacit knowledge. So in this instance, look at the phonotactic system of the English language. That is the possible combinations, the permissible combinations of phonemes. How do we combine them? How do we arrange them? That's what we mean by this formula here. Now, look at the board here. C means consonant. So this is the permissible arrangement of phonemes in a syllable or in an English syllable. Every language has its own. Yoruba has its own, Igbo has its own, Hausa has its own, and other languages like that in the world.
English language.
English language. So let's look at DC raised to power 0 to 3, which means this is the initial position of a syllable. So which means C, which stands for consonant, raised to power 0 means no consonant at all at the onset. Onset means the initial position. So which means we may not have a consonant at the initial position of a syllable. So, like in the word if, it, if. So, no consonant at all. Then we may have C1, that is only one consonant, as you have in pot, cat, bank. Then we may have C2, that is two consonants at the onset, the initial position, like brag, spot, crawl, spin, like a slash. Now, you may have C C3. What do we mean by C3? That is 3 consonant clusters. 3 consonant clusters. That's what we mean by C3. And that's the maximum that you can have at the initial position of a syllable, of the English syllable. That is, at the onset, you cannot exceed 3 consonant clusters in the English language. So, C3, that is, you can have splash, screw, spray, and so on. That's the maximum. So minimum is not to have at all at the onset, that is at the initial position. So let me tell you now, from here you can see that consonant is not mandatory at the initial position of a syllable. Whereas a vowel, in a syllable there must be a vowel. What do we mean by a vowel? A vowel is the peak or the nucleus of a syllable, and it is mandatory that a syllable must have it. Any syllable that does not have a vowel, we refer to that one as a syllabic consonant, as you have in tell, blood, hospital, blood, stellar. So tell and blood, they are syllabic consonants because there is no mandatory nucleus or vowel there. And here is called the coda, the final position of a syllable, the English syllable, coda. So here, C0, as I've explained, it means not mandatory to end a syllable with a vowel, with a consonant, as you have car. That's an open syllable. An open syllable. Car, spray, pray, crawl, see, fee. So open syllable, no consonant at the end. And we may have one that will end that syllable. Cat, bus.
Only one consonant.
Bag.
Only one consonant.
That one is a closed syllable. A closed syllable because those syllables end with consonants, whether one, whether two. So you may also have 2 consonant clusters, as you have in cats, the plural of cats. Cats, bags, 2 consonant clusters. Then you may have 3 consonant clusters. You may have 3 consonant clusters like you have in bangs, ungs. So then you may have 4 consonant clusters, as you have in glimpsed. The past tense of glimpsed, you say glimpsed. That D there changes to T during pronunciation. So you say glimpsed, ungst. So 4 consonant clusters. So here, in English language, we have discovered now that the maximum you can have at the coda, at the final position of English syllables is 4 consonant clusters, and you may not have at all, as we have stated. Now, let's go to 2 main branches of phonology. There are 2 main branches of phonology. So the 2 components of phonology are segmental phonology and suprasegmental phonology. What do we mean by segmental phonology, which is also known as segmental features? We talk about consonants and vowels in segmental phonology. It's about sounds, about phonemes that we talk about in segmental features. Features describe phonemes they look at the description of phonemes, how these phonemes are organized into words, how they are combined into words, how they are patterned into words. Those are the things we study in segmental phonology. Suprasegmental phonology is also known as suprasegmental features. The prosodic features, they mean the same thing. So what do we do in suprasegmental phonology? Supra means above. So supra means above the level of segments. So we are looking at features that operate above the level of segments, above the level of phonemes in suprasegmental phonology. And what are those things that operate above the level of phonemes in suprasegmental phonology? We look at stress, rhythm, and intonation. Those are the things we study in suprasegmental phonology. So, those are the things we look at. And here, let's look at the summary of what we have been discussing since morning. Phonology studies functions of phonemes in languages. It also studies relationships among different phonemes. It also studies the phonemic system of a language. It also studies phoneme sequences and syllable structure, including the possible or permissible combinations of phonemes, which we refer to as phonotactics. I hope you have gained some things today. Thank you very much.